ENON, who's on the phone in London. ENON, hello, thanks for calling. Do you think Prince Harry could give the royal family the fillip, the lift that they need in popularity?
That goes without saying. Harry is the golden child, I'm afraid. He is the one that can lift up the monarchy. But hey-ho, 5 years ago, he desperately had to leave the royal monarchy because of rifts between the family and building up the press, the tabloids, and the ill things that have been said. Harry must be able to defend himself, and that's what he did. Should he return? No. He has a life now. He has a career that is global, is doing very good around the world. He has a wife and children. What must he do? Leave them?
Well, no, why can't they come with him? They're a family.
The security issue, my dear. The security issue. He is still royal blood. He is still a son, and he should get that security. That's the least he could do. He gave his life to the military. He served his country, and that was rudely and disrespectfully taken from him. He should have his right to come and see his grandchildren, as one of your panel said.
How do you think? I think Kristen would like to ask you something.
That was his choice. He chose.
Do not use the word choice.
It was his choice.
Do not use the word choice. No one walks away from pomp and ceremony because they are, everything is well. It was not well. The Fab Four dissolved. Competition and constant jealousy.
Why couldn't he then just leave, which I would have supported, and then just not say anything else? Why did he have to leave and then keep attacking the family?
He has not attacked anyone. He has defended his wife, family, against a tabloid that constantly rebuke him and discredit him. He has a voice and it should be heard. Why can't he tell his own story?
Well, he has told it. He's told it roundly and spare. But, speaking as someone who spent last year writing my own autobiography, there are things you put in and things you don't put in. And each one is a choice. You can decide how you're going to say it, what you're going to say, the things you suddenly forgot ever happened because you better not write about those, the things somebody reminds you happened, you think you won't necessarily put those in either. All that stuff. Thanks, Anna, very much indeed. People get very, very heated about this subject. Coming up later. Should staff feel better?
Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into the heated debate. Should Prince Harry return to royal duties? One caller, ENON, absolutely set the stage on fire with brutal honesty. And let's dive right in. ENON, in no uncertain terms, declared Harry as the golden child of the monarchy. And it's not hard to see why. Harry has always been the one to truly connect with people, someone whose compassion radiates without the need for a royal title. He's always been the one who could have brought a much-needed breath of fresh air to the monarchy, but as we all know, that didn't happen. Why? Well, 5 years ago, Harry had to make a difficult choice. He didn't just decide to leave because he didn't care anymore. No, it was far from that. He left because staying would mean putting his family's safety on the line and sacrificing his own peace of mind. It was a choice made out of necessity, not out of disdain. Now here's where ENON really hits the nail on the head. Harry doesn't need to return. He has a life now, a life that he has painstakingly built from scratch. It's authentic, it's global, and it's meaningful. Yes, he's still a blood royal, and that does mean he deserves proper security. But royal duties? That's a chapter of his life that has been firmly closed. Harry doesn't need to return. He has a life now. He's built something authentic, global, and meaningful. These words from ENON perfectly encapsulate the essence of why Harry made the choices he did. He's moved on, and it's time the world does too. Harry is indeed the golden child, but he's also a man who has found his own path, away from the confines of royal duties. ENON made another brilliant point. We're going to delve into the way Harry and his wife, the Duchess of Sussex, handled the media storm that followed their decision to step back from royal duties. For an entire year, they remained silent, not a whisper of defence or retaliation. They were not feeding the press with interviews or statements. They were simply focused on building a new life, away from the glare of the royal spotlight. However, in stark contrast, the palace and its sources were relentless. They were the fuel to the press circus, continuously feeding the flames of speculation and critique. The couple was under constant attack from anonymous insider sources, cryptic palace statements, and an ever-hungry media. But through it all, they remained silent. They chose peace over confrontation, a new start over a royal feud. But then came the breaking of the silence. When Harry and the Duchess finally decided to respond, it wasn't an attack. It wasn't a calculated move in a media chess game. They were simply defending themselves, their choices, and their right to live a life away from royal duties. They weren't throwing punches, they were raising shields. They were standing up for themselves and their family, something that many can relate to and respect. And this is where the monarchy cult stumbles. They can't stand the fact that Harry has found his own voice. He's no longer the silent prince, always in line with the palace. He's a man who speaks his truth, who defends his family, who doesn't shy away from difficult conversations. And the most important part, he doesn't need their permission to use his voice. He doesn't need their approval to speak his mind. He is his own person, independent and free from the constraints of royal protocol. Harry found his own voice, and he doesn't need their permission to use it. This is the reality. This is the story that unfolded after a year of silence, a story of strength, resilience, and independence, a story that continues to unfold as Harry and the Duchess carve out their own path away from the royal fold. So let's answer the big question. Should Harry return to royal duties? In short, no, and here's why. Harry has outgrown the firm, yes, you heard it right. He's matured beyond the confines of the palace walls and the rigid protocols that come with it. He's found his voice, and he's using it to make a real difference. But this growth hasn't come without its challenges. You see, Harry's transformation has been a threat to the firm. His newfound independence and global reach have made him a force to be reckoned with, and that's what scares them. They fear his influence, his autonomy, his ability to connect with people on a level they can't. Harry's not just Harry the Prince anymore. He's Harry the global advocate, the father, the husband, and the man who's not afraid to speak his truth. And let's not forget, he's shining brighter than ever. He's using his platform to tackle important issues, to start necessary conversations, to make a difference. He's no longer confined to the traditional royal duties. He's redefined what it means to be a royal. He's stepped out of the shadow of the monarchy and into the light of his own making. There's something incredibly powerful about that, about a man who was born into privilege, choosing to step away from it, to forge his own path. It's a testament to his character, his strength, and his commitment to doing what's right, not just what's expected. And the truth is, Harry doesn't need the firm. He doesn't need the pomp and the circumstance, the titles or the duties. He's built a life for himself that is meaningful. That is impactful, that is his own. And that's something the firm could never give him. So should Harry return to royal duties? The answer is a resounding no. He's outgrown the firm, and that's why they fear him. He shines brighter on his own than the whole institution does together. Harry's found his place in the world, and it's not within the walls of the palace. It's out here with us, making a difference, one conversation at a time. So there you have it. A whirlwind of truth, passion and clear-eyed vision, delivered by none other than caller ENON. Their words have made it abundantly clear. Prince Harry is indeed the golden child. He is the one who brought a touch of humanity to an institution often seen as out of touch. His compassion, his authenticity, his connection with people, they are all undeniable. Yet Harry was forced to make a choice that, contrary to what some may believe, was not born out of a desire to escape responsibility, but rather to protect what he holds dear, his family. He chose peace of mind over pomp and circumstance, safety over scrutiny. And what has he done since he stepped away from royal duties? He has built a new life, a life that is global, meaningful and authentic. He is still a royal by blood, and as such, deserves the security that status should afford him. But as for royal duties, that chapter of his life has been emphatically closed. Enon's words rang true when they called out those who would manipulate the narrative for their own agenda. They reminded us that Harry and Sussex remained silent for a year after their departure, not out of spite, but in an attempt to build their new life away from the glare of the media spotlight. When they finally spoke out, they were not on the offensive, but on the defensive, protecting their truth against a barrage of unfounded accusations. In finding his own voice, Harry has grown beyond the confines of the monarchy. He no longer needs their permission to speak his mind, and that perhaps is what they fear the most, a prince who shines brighter on his own than he ever did under the shadow of the crown. What do you think? Should Harry stay free, or would you ever want to see him back in the royal fold? Drop your thoughts below and don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more breakdowns. And until next time... But before we wrap up, there's room for one more thing. It's your turn to join the conversation. This topic, this debate, it's not just about Harry, it's about all of us. It's about what we value, what we stand for, and how we treat people who are different from us. Now we've heard from ENON, and we've broken down their fiery comments. But what about you? What do you think? Should Harry remain free, living his life outside the gilded cage of royalty? Or do you believe there's a place for him back in the royal fold? We want to hear your thoughts, your opinions, because here every voice matters. We're not just passively consuming content, we're engaging, we're discussing, and we're learning from each other. So don't hold back. Let your voice be heard in the comments section below. And remember, this is just one of many discussions we'll be having. If you want to stay updated, if you want to be part of future debates, then do the 3 golden actions, like share and subscribe. By liking, you help us reach more people. By sharing, you spread the word and ignite more conversations. And by subscribing, you become part of a community that values open dialogue, critical thinking, and a willingness to listen to different perspectives. So, as we close out this chapter, let's remember the golden child Harry. Regardless of our individual opinions, we can all agree that his journey is a symbol of courage, resilience, and the pursuit of authenticity. It's a reminder that sometimes walking away from what's familiar is the first step towards finding our true selves. And that, my friends, is a conversation worth having. So let's keep the dialogue going. Share your thoughts, your insights, your questions. And together we'll continue to explore, to question, and to understand the world around us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more breakdowns. Until next time.